Joyful blessings. This is Kaylin Castell, and I've got a quick video here to help you understand how to use the Synodic Cycles of Venus document. There's some pretty cool things to know about this. And the first thing is that you can print this cover. It's on the page where you received the document. You can print this cover as part of your spiral binding if you choose to print this. And I do highly recommend that you print it so you have it handy. I have several copies of it myself, and I use that cover so that I know what it is. And I get, not only does it have a spiral binding, but it has a little plastic cover so that it keeps the document protected. So you're going to find that could be really useful because you can flip to any page to see look up anybody's Venus signature, including your own. So this table is from 1929 to 2052, and this is the first page, and it's really helping you to locate the meta goddess, the phase of the Venus cycle you were born into, including the chakra gate, if you have one. Not everybody has one. Also, what's the phase angle, meaning the number of degrees between Venus and the sun, and also what part of the synodic cycle or Venus star phase that you are born into. So these columns, of course, you have the date that we're looking at. So if we looked at April 26, 1929, the meta goddess on the world stage is Aries. It's also known as the overtone. This was the morning star rise when Venus was at 25, almost 26 degrees Aries retrograde, and it was the birth of a new goddess, the Aries goddess. And that was when Venus and the sun became 10 degrees apart, rising into the morning star. The sun was at almost 6 degrees Taurus, meaning there's that 10-degree separation between them. On May 11th, Venus stationed direct, and that begins the underworld descent of the cycle. So we can see the meta goddess, we can see what the Venus event is, stationing direct, being with the moon, Venus at maximum elongation, the different moon things. When Venus gets within 10 degrees of the sun again, then Venus is entering the Inanna underworld. And that begins the longer phase because it's from, say, December 26th of 1929 to March 19th of 1930, when Venus rose as an evening star. And again, this is showing the degrees from the sun, and this plus 10 degrees means that now Venus is rising into the evening sky, and the minus 10 degrees is Venus has just risen into the morning sky. So the position of the sun, the star phase, that does include the metamorphic underworld phase, but it's not showing here exactly. So you've got everything you need to determine where you were born in the cycle or where someone was born in the cycle. And what you want to do is look at the date before your birthday. So here's just an example from December 16th, 1961. Venus went into the underworld, got 10 degrees from the sun, and was there until March 9th of 1962, when Venus rose as an evening star, becoming 10, separating 10 degrees from the sun again. Now, during that time, Venus was exact with the sun on January 27th, and then was with the moon 2 times on February 4th and March 6th. So if anybody's born between December 16th and March 9th of 1962, or say March 8th, they are in the underworld phase of the Venus cycle. And then Venus becomes evening star on March 9th and makes its first conjunction with the moon on April 5th. So if somebody was born on April 3rd, they were still just in the evening star time. And this is not at a chakra gate because it's before Venus catches up to the moon. So this is a special phase of the cycle that we literally refer to as the between. So say if somebody was born on March 27th, I just gave another example, or April 1st, anytime before April 5th, they're in that between time if it's after March 9th. So this is how you can begin to understand how to determine what phase of the Venus cycle you're born into. So here's some more examples that might be helpful just to bring this home a little bit more. February 4th, 1966, say that's somebody's birthday. Well, we look for the date before their birthday. On February 1st, 1966 was when Venus rose into the morning sky in Aquarius and began a new cycle of the goddess as the Aquarius meta goddess on the world stage in the morning star phase. And Venus then stationed direct on February 15th. So if somebody was born between February 1st and February 15th, they're in that retrograde phase. And it's also a phase that we refer to as the between. It's an alchemy. There's many ways of understanding this that are pretty remarkable. We don't have time to go in here, but this is something we do go into more depth in the Venus signature series, as well as the working with the Venus return or the Venus cycle, any synodic cycle of Venus. So again, just from really the February 1st to February 17th was when Venus got connected up with the first, with the moon for the first gate, and it goes from the crown chakra down. And then on March 17th, Venus went through the second gate, or the brow chakra, in 1966. So this is just a more recent, this was the Venus cycle that happened from November 1st of 2018 to May 28th of 2020. Actually, it ended as the new cycle began. But if you wanted to look at the evening star phase or the metamorphic underworld started on May 28th, 2020, when Venus dropped out of, became within 10 degrees of the sun and dropped out of the evening sky. And so the very last part of that cycle, there's like 3 or 4 days, it's in that metamorphic phase, and then rises up, conjuncts the sun and rises up into a new cycle. So it's pretty remarkable. Anyway, so if somebody was born between February 27th of 2020 and March 27th of 2020, they would have been at the brow chakra gate. If it was March 28th or after, they would be at the crown chakra gate, and April 26th and after 8th chakra gate. And literally we look at that until, even though it was not quite a month when Venus went retrograde, it's still kind of in that 8th gate till the next Venus moon conjunction. So these are all details that we go into far more deeply in the synodic cycles of Venus that we work with ceremonially, and also in the Venus signature class. So if you'd like to know more about that, and you aren't familiar with that yet, you can always go to venusalchemy.com and get the latest information. And so hopefully this will help you in really being able to use this document in the best way possible.